Nipuna. I'm 34 years old. I'm a professional at a startup in the hospitality and real estate space in Bombay. Outside of that, I'm big time into fitness, health, wellness. I have a lot of passions, and I've always been interested in personal growth and self mastery. And that's one of the reasons that I was drawn to this program. And I decided to invest my time and effort here. But the day I started, I knew Sush a little prior before I registered for the course. And I'd always liked her way of speaking, and I really liked the things she said. So when I learned that she's doing this transformation program one on one, I was really excited. And the day I did my clarity call with her was the same day I decided to do this. And I still remember it was a day in July. It was raining, and I think it was really one of the best decisions of 2022. From the first time, from the moment I registered, all I did is trusted the coach and trusted the process. I just followed through every week or every fortnight on all the exercises. And I would, yes, diligently do all the self work and sometimes read it and note my questions and how I was feeling. And very early on in the program, I started seeing a much better relationship with myself. So actually all started with myself, where I think that I started loving myself more, respecting myself more, and anyone who loves and respects themselves will do things in their favor. And that made me commit myself even more to the program. And every week was so enjoyable and in some ways was so different because I would discover different facets about myself and my personality. So I've actually never dated myself. um, I've never enjoyed this relationship with myself so much as I did in this 10-week process. And maybe to highlight a few, I think that was really the biggest, gift for me. The biggest aha moments were things that I discovered about myself, and that led to changes in my life. Because eventually, it's the actions that we take that turn into results that change different facets of our life. And our life doesn't change on one fine day. Our life changes little by little, and as we've learned with such 1% every single day, different facets keep changing every day, and one fine day you see that so much has changed, and then you feel I have a different life. But it didn't all happen in one day. It's really 1%, 10% every week. I think to start with, I spoke about how I changed myself. That was the most important, and I think that was the foundation of everything else that happened. And I'd like to explain it this way. So, for example, let's take the case of health. Earlier, I would know that I have to visit a doctor to fix something, but I just wouldn't, I would procrastinate or I would prioritize other things and just not do that. But now, instead of procrastinating and not doing something, I would take the initiative and go and do what I have to do, and that changed certain things in my health. So I've been having thyroid. Very surprisingly, I was detected with hypothyroid about 9 months ago, and I had no visible symptoms. I'm very athletic. I've been an athlete since I was a kid. So luckily, I'm blessed. But 9 months ago, I found out, and I think for the first 3, 4 months, I just didn't do anything about it. And when I started coaching, I reconnected with an old doctor of mine, whom I'd known since about 3, 4 years, and I started taking medication and doing a little bit of yoga. And within 6 months, the combination of all the actions that I took, and the affirmations and whatever Sush took me through, brought down my thyroid levels within 6 months itself. I think from 8 points on the scale to about 1.5 points, which is a significant reduction for 6 months. And all of this was through natural medication. So that was a huge benefit for me. I also worked out much more in these 6 to 9 months than I have in the past couple of years. Another big advantage that came my way was just meeting the right people. I think because we would do daily intention settings and daily practices and weekly sessions, I
Yeah.
started attracting the right people in my life. And I totally believe that change happens when you meet the right people. It could be the right doctor, the right lawyer, the right boss, the right
Yeah.
partner. So I think that that made a huge difference. I met the most amazing yoga teacher in this journey of self transformation, and I've been enjoying building up strength and flexibility like never before.
Wow, that's like great transformation in the area of health. And like you rightly said, because you were working on yourself, your energies were rising, and you automatically started attracting people who are also in that frequency, right? So I remember you sharing with me, Nipuna, that a lot of people who you never thought you will reach out to, suddenly they started appearing in front of you and telling you that they can help you in that particular area, right?
Yeah, yeah, totally, totally. In the fourth month, one fine day, the CEO of the company that I work for came up to me and asked me very casually. His secretary invited me for lunch, and I thought it was a regular update meeting or an update, just to catch up with him. And when I went and sat with him, he told me that he wanted me to work on a brand new project, which is completely different from what I've been doing. And typically, most people vie for such opportunities, and such opportunities come to them after a lot of hard work and effort. But it was really the affirmations that I was doing for self worth, for capability, that relationship that I strengthened with the intellectual part of myself, the ambitious part of myself that brought about this change. The change was an output, but the input was all that Sush and I went through in the transformation program.
Absolutely. I still remember, how the project just landed, and there were also a lot of challenges that you went through. Not like this project phase was like a easy cakewalk for you, right? I mean, there were a lot of times when you were put into very stressful situations.
Moment I would say that something's not working, the earlier me would get hyper and would feel bad. And I would say the new improved version of me would just stay calm and focus on what solutions I could bring to the table. So my thinking changed. My thinking became a lot more solution oriented, which, in our world of self improvement, we call pivoting. So,
Yeah.
erstwhile negative thoughts, we pivot and think of the positive thoughts or solutions, if not positive thoughts. So I think my thinking in general has become more solution oriented. I don't ruminate as much on problems, and they come every single day.
True.
But you feel that you are the genie that you look for outside of yourself in people is really now within you, and that's the magic of this process of this beautiful self transformation journey, because you truly become empowered. And while all the other external changes in our lives, like the health benefits and career and money and all of that, I think the most joyful is reconnecting with that sense of power within. Because this time that you created it, you wanted it in your life, you worked towards it, and
Yeah.
you've created it. So that little genie is really within us. And I think those were the most beautiful moments for me. Those were my golden moments in this entire
Wow.
journey. Yeah, and
Amazing.
other techniques I've used, I think, for, journaling. I love writing, so I would write down about the problems I have. And when I would write down, I would realize that the problem was actually so different from what
Yeah.
I thought it was. Maybe I was dealing with the symptom and
True.
not the real problem. So I used pivoting, I used journaling, I used, the 1% improvement method, where I just focused on the day without getting stressed out about what would happen. And believe it or not, just that, small changes in the day would change things around.
Yeah. Entire journey, when we kicked it off, you were like not a very fun loving person, right? You would literally run away from having fun, and you would just want to be, you had great big ambitious goals, and you were always focused on those goals. How did that transformation of having fun now is looking for you? How much are you enjoying having fun, Nipuna?
So yeah, that was the toughest thing to work on because I'm very ambitious. And after work, I barely, I didn't chill much, and I would get into doing other things So Sush really helped me with that. That took the longest from all the areas of my life to change. But for the first time in years, I took a solo trip. As I said, I really improved my relationship with myself. And before this, I would go on trips alone, but with groups because I'm into trekking and hiking. But for the first time around Diwali, I took 4 days off entirely on my own, and I, focused on myself and my affirmations and all the lovely techniques I'd learned. And I enjoyed it so much that I came back refreshed. And I did another trip at the end of December on my own. Um, so that area of my life has really changed. I've reconnected with a couple of older friends. Some proactively, I reconnected with. Some reached out to me after 2, 3 years. In fact, yeah, this past last weekend, I got a message from a friend I've not been in touch with for 3 years. She's a very good college friend of mine. So I've been so much happier in terms of, my relationships are more stable. Emotionally, they're flat. Initially, earlier things would happen. There would be this up and down, ebb and trough, but they're a lot more stable, and I do have a lot more fun. And I have fun for the sake of having fun. I
Yeah.
don't connect fun to any other area of my life.
Yeah.
I don't feel guilty when I enjoy. I still think I have a long way to go, but from where I was, I've come such a long way, and I enjoy doing this journey slowly and steadily.
Yeah, absolutely. She has been the best action taker that I have seen.
I was always told before, even before I joined, that we make all the changes internally, and then externally, our external lives are just reflections of who we are within.
Yeah.
And it may again sound exaggerated, but it's just so true. And I think I realized and I saw that in this 10-week process, that wherever, and I know today that because I know exactly what I followed through and the 10-15% that I didn't follow through as well. Whatever I followed through, the best were results, were areas that changed significantly in my life. And when they also say that things happen without us struggling and overly hustling our way through, it's true because people came my way, opportunities came my way, and things happened without struggle in the traditional sense that we know of or that I knew of before this program. And that's the beauty of this journey. That's the most beautiful part. The very first week I started MDMA, I was on a work trip, and it was a Monday morning, so it was the start of the week. And I said, "Oh my God! Like I'm starting this class for the entire week at 5:30. I'm not in my comfort zone, and it's such a tough week. I'm traveling. I'm out of town. All of that. But I started it, and the first week of MDMA, it was somewhere in July, mid
Yeah.
July, was definitely my best week. And when that week got over, I said, I cannot believe that there is a class designed to take us through our morning routine. So many classes teach us how to do it, but I'm not aware of anything that actually does it with us,
Yeah.
hand holds us with so many like-minded people. And I think just doing it for 1 week brought so much of positive energy in my life and made my days so different from what it was that there was no question about doing it or not doing it. And I've never looked back ever since.
Amazing. That's really nice to know, Nipuna. And can you also share that, because MDMA was a live session every day, 1 hour we would spend time in the morning and do our morning routine, which comprises of meditation, visualization, affirmations, reading, exercise, writing gratitude letters, right? And then weekly we would meet for our self-transformation journey. So would you also like to share how these two combined, helped you in the overall process of self-transformation?
Yeah, absolutely. So while the transformation journey sessions are weekly, that's great. And there's a lot of work that one has to do before the next session and a lot of prep work. So you need an entire week. But to keep you going through the week, through every single day, MDMA is absolutely fantastic because eventually change doesn't happen by meeting your coach for 2 hours a week.
Yeah.
You just evaluate your progress and you take the next steps, you take guidance. That's why the coach is a coach or a mentor or a guide. but you have to do all the work yourself. And that happens on a daily basis. In fact, the days I did MDMA every single day, so there's no day I did it versus I didn't. But the days I would do MDMA really well, if I wasn't sleepy in the morning, I would be able to do my own weekly coursework better. My day would be better. So I think the combination of the two is just fabulous because MDMA takes care of your day,
Yeah.
whereas the weekly program takes care of the bigger things in life. Maybe a
Yeah.
goal which is 5 years down, 1 year down, etc. So the two really complement each other very, very well. And I think doing them consistently, of course, different people say different things 3 weeks, 40 days, 90 days. And I don't know when it changed for me because I was so enjoying the process that I
Yeah.
stopped taking cognizance of these metrics.
Yeah.
But there came a point somewhere after continuous repetition where it just became more and more part of my life. And now
Yeah.
it's integrated so much into my life that I can't think of starting my day without my morning routine. If at all I do start my day late on a weekend, I start with the morning routine and then move on to the rest of the day.
Wow, that is a very good place to be in. And as you rightly said, that comes with a lot of consistency and repetition, right? And first few months, you actually have to focus on that because automatically then it becomes a part of you. It's like you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, right? So similarly, you wake up in the morning and you do your morning routine. Amazing. Thank you so much, Nipuna, for sharing and for inspiring so many of us. You are amazing because you are always taking actions and you are implementing every tool and technique that I have taught you, that you have learned from all the other programs. You have been implementing it, and that is why you're seeing such massive changes, and there is so much more coming your way. So be excited for it, and I wish you all the success and love.
Thank you. Thank you for designing such a beautiful program and changing so many lives day by day.